Just testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Test, test, test.
Good afternoon. Welcome to our program commemorating Veterans Day. We ask that everyone be quiet and respectful during this program in order to give honor to all veterans, both living and dead. Please stand and remain standing until after the Star-Spangled Banner, which will be sung by our St. Mary's Chorus. Each year on November 11th, we celebrate Veterans Day. Historically, this day has not always been called Veterans Day. Its original name was Armistice Day. It commemorated the end of World War I at 11 a.m. on November 11th, 1918, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. In 1954, President Dwight Eisenhower signed a bill proclaiming November 11th as Veterans Day and called upon Americans everywhere to rededicate themselves to the cause of peace.
President Eisenhower said, "Let us remember the sacrifices of all those who fought so bravely on the seas, in the air, and on foreign shores, to preserve our heritage of freedom. Let us reconsecrate ourselves to the task of promoting and enduring peace, so that their efforts shall not have been in vain." Today, we celebrate Veterans Day to honor all those brave men and women who have served and continue to serve America in the armed forces. We ask God to protect them as they defend and safeguard our freedom.
America has a sacred trust to care for those who defend her. From the warriors who stormed the beaches at Normandy on D-Day to the brave men and women returning from Iraq and Afghanistan, our veterans share a legacy of service that crosses generational lines and upholds the values upon which our nation was founded. Service to cause greater than self. For this they deserve the respect and gratitude for our nation. On Veterans Day, we come together as a nation to thank and honor our veterans for their service. We do this through community parades, patriotic ceremonies, and assemblies. Veterans have invested of themselves in the security and safety and well-being of our nation. Let us then, as a graceful nation, hold them in the highest regard as we offer tributes to them.
A prayer of our country. In the home of the brave and the land of the free, that's the place where I live and I'm thankful to be. Where alone with just me or with a big crowd, I can talk to you quietly or write out loud. In my room or outside where everyone sees, I am free to worship you, Lord, as I please. Dear God in heaven, just what do you see when your eyes look down on this land that is free? Where so many people believe in you, but we often don't live like you ask us to. We are your people and you are our God. You have loved us so well that it would seem odd if we didn't treat others as you've taught us to. You said, love one another as I have loved you.
Help us to share what we have and not be greedy, be kind to our neighbors and care for the needy, and treat each other with friendly respect. We'll pray for the leaders the grown-ups elect, that they will be wise enough to seek your wisdom and power, for they are weak. But you are strong and you know best. Please show them how to lead all the rest. I pray as your people, together we might teach all the world what is good and right. When you look at your country, I hope you'll see many kids you can count on, including me.
As I walk down the battlefield with my family on my mind, I am always fearful of what it is I'll find. I take a look at the enemy and see they're just like me. It makes me sad to battle them. All we both want is to be free. None of them I'd want to kill. That'd be like killing me. But I know what I've got to do. I've got to be free. And now at last I'm home with bloodstains on my shirt. I'm not proud of what I've done, not proud of who I've hurt. But then I realize what it was for, my country great and strong. And when I remember America, it doesn't feel so wrong. I remember my allies dead, and my enemy too. But war cannot be a happy thing, but we all fight for you. It can make me uncomfortable to talk about the past, the thoughts I tried to push away, but they kept coming back. I am grateful for the honor today, but I still need some rest. A soldier's life is an unhappy one, but they fight for the best. Remember us.
Freedom. Freedom is a breath of air, pine-scented or salty like the sea. Freedom is a field new plowed, furrows of democracy. Freedom is a forest, trees tall and straight as men. Freedom is a printing press, the power of the pen. Freedom is a country church, a cathedral's stately spire. Freedom is a spirit that can set the soul on fire. Freedom is a man's birthright, a sacred living rampart, the pulse beat of humanity, the throb of a nation's heart.
I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over institutions of learning. I stand guard with power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident. I am arrogant. I am proud. When I am flown with my fellow banners, my head is a little higher, my color is a little truer.
I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am worshipped. I am saluted. I am loved, and I am revered. I am respected, and I am feared. I have fought in every battle of every war for more than 200 years. I was flown at Valley Forge, Gettysburg, Shiloh, and Appomattox. I was there at San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, and the Argonne Forest, Anzio, Rome, and the benches of Normandy, Guam, Okinawa, Korea, Kisan, Saigon, and Vietnam know me. I was there, I led my troops. I was dirty, battle, worn, and tired, but my soldiers cheered me, and I was proud.
I have been burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of the country I have helped set free. It does not hurt, for I am invincible. I have been solid upon, burned, torn, and trampled in the streets of my own country. And when it is done by those whom I served in the battle, it hurts, but I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the bonds of earth and stood watch over the uncharted frontiers of space. From from my vantage point on the moon. I have borne silent witness to all of America's finest hours, but my finest hours are yet to come. For when I am torn into strips and used as bandages for my wounded comrade on the battlefield, when I am flown at half-mast to honor my soldiers, or when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving parent at the grave of their fallen son or daughter, I am proud. I am the flag of the United States of America.
Remember this. It is the veteran, not the preacher, who has given us freedom of religion. It is the veteran, not the reporter, who has given us freedom of the press. It is the veteran, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the veteran, not the campus organizer, who has given us freedom to assemble.
It is the veteran, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. It is the veteran, not the politician, who has given us the right to vote.
It is the veteran who salutes the flag, who serves under the flag, who confirmed is draped by the flag.
I'm now going to read the names of parents of St. Mary's students, spouses, and parents or siblings of faculty and staff who have served in the military. We appreciate their service to our country. Kim Allen, U.S. Air Force, 1962 to 1966. Bruce Blunt, U.S. Air Force, 1966 to 1986. Steve Bolin, U.S. National Guard, 1991 to 1997. Andrew Collins, U.S. National Guard, 1992 to 2001. Terry Carell, U.S. Army, 1966 to 1967. Paul Duffy, U.S. Army Reserve, 1972 to 1978. Christopher Erickson, U.S. Army National Guard, 1995 to 2001. David Erickson, U.S. Army National Guard, 2000 to 2006. James Erickson, U.S. Army, 1972 to 1975. Matthew Erickson, U.S. Army, 2003 to 2009. Dan Ferguson, U.S. Army, 1964 to 1968. Cord Gregor, U.S. Army, 2005 to 2012. Patrick C. Green, U.S. Navy. Ogie Hale, U.S. Army, 1943 to 1948. Aaron Hepner, U.S. Army. Paul Hills, U.S. Navy, 1951 to 1955. Ernest Jansen, U.S. Army, 1942 to 1945. Dennis Jones, U.S. Army Reserve, 1970 to 1976. Robert Jones, U.S. Army Reserve, 1968 to 1974. Ron Jones, Illinois National Guard, 1968 to 1974. Stanley B. Jones, U.S. Army, 1942 to 1945. Dan LaChapelle, Air Force, 1962 to 1966. Michael Lawrenson, U.S. Marine Corps,